I'm here with Ohio State head coach Ryan Day, who is fresh off of a road win in conference play. His Buckeyes beat the Minnesota Gophers 45-31 and got some outstanding play out of his quarterback, CJ Stroud, especially in the second half. But Coach, I want to ask about why you said in the post-game press conference you didn't want to put any expectations on a quarterback. I'm sure Buckeye fans had a lot of expectations that they already put on themselves.
Well, I think that when you do that and something goes poorly or adversity hits, you don't have the foundation to be able to work through that. And so having no expectations or talking about when something may not go well, having that plan ahead of time, that goes a long way, because when you're in it, in the first game of the year, the fans, all that type of environment, you can't all of a sudden start to sort through your feelings and emotions in that moment. You have to have a plan heading in. And that was one way for us to deal with adversity when we knew at some point it was going to hit.
One of the things that you said to our Jenny Taft in the pregame lead up to that is you're going to let him play and then you're going to go watch the film. You're going to teach the film. But one of the things I took away from it is what CJ's saying. Hey, look, I actually hadn't been hit in 2 years. And then it hit me that he also had not played in front of people, let alone a hostile environment, in at least 2 years. What'd you see on film? How do you think he handled all of what college football is for the first time as a starting quarterback?
I think it was solid. It wasn't perfect, but I think when you go back and watch the game, I know as a young quarterback, I did. You watch a lot of film, and you practice, and you watch a lot of film, and then you go play in the game, and you have a perception of what the game was going to look like. Then you watch it on film, and you're like, "Whoa, that's not what I thought it looked like." From my point of view, not from playing under center. And then, you go back and you watch the film and you're like, wow, that guy was there. That guy was there. Okay, this happened. Look at myself in this situation. What you see on film isn't exactly what you experienced in real time. And I think that's where the growing is going to continue to build as he gets reps under his belt.
I wondered about the second half performance in particular. I know you've been asked a bunch about this, but I'm going to ask it again because I think it's such an interesting part of the story going forward. What did you tell CJ at halftime? He was 8 of 14, 58 with an interception. You guys are down. Like, there's a really good opportunity for him to be down on himself and for his teammates to, yes, pick him up, which they did, but also maybe not believe in him.
Well, I told them we're just going to keep calling them, and we're not going to stop, and I'm not going to change how we're calling this thing. We're not going to do that. And by the way, it's about to start raining a lot harder, so it's even going to be harder for you. And he took it on. I think after the game, he had an appreciation for exactly, how things went. And I think he understands a little bit more now than he did certainly a week ago at this time. And that's great. But yeah, that was the conversation. We're just going to keep swinging. I'm going to keep calling them, and we got to go.
Where does the wherewithal come from for you to stay with the plan, to stay with what you put together before you got here, especially without having played games? You're putting together this thing in the pregame. You think you know what you're going to see, and then you got to hold on tight to what you know. How do you build that faith in yourself and in your program?
Well, the first thing is I was thinking before the game that in the last 10 years, had first-time quarterbacks for me in terms of as a coach for 9 of them. Last year was really the first time that I've been with a quarterback for 2 years in a row as a starter. So it's something that, fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know what it is. It's just the facts is understanding a young quarterback and how to bring them along. I think it's just something that we've come accustomed to here. Certainly know it's not easy. And when you're making a transition from high school football to college football, especially at this level, it is a significant jump. And so understanding that coming in and, just trying to handle it the best you can is all we can do. I think the other thing that we did a good job of is, we relied on the veterans around CJ. I thought the offensive line did a really good job in protection, thought we ran the ball well, and obviously the receivers, made some huge plays for us.
you did run the ball well, extremely well. We got to see, I called it the rise of the Mayan Empire, Mayan Williams getting to the corner, taking it to the house. We got to see Travion Henderson. We got to see Master T. We got to see Mark Crowley. And quiet as it's kept, your offensive line is enormous, man. Like, you're like running 4 tackles out there, dog. Like, how do you feel about having this amount of talent and trying to just push it in the right direction, teach it, because you know what you have going forward. You know you have what you need to win. How do you feel when you know you have that on the sideline?
Well, first off, it's week to week. And, you have to put it together one game plan at a time. And what happened the week before, doesn't affect what's going on this week. I mean, we got to bring it every single week, and we got a brand new challenge this week. We do have talent, but we also have inexperience. A lot of these guys haven't played. Paris, really hasn't played a whole bunch. Luke, not as much. Thayer got moved from tackle to guard. I thought he made that transition really well, but that's new for him. Went from right to left, and DeJuan's new at right tackle. So they're really all playing new positions. But like you said, they're very, very talented. I think they have the right mindset. And, it does give you a peace of mind going into the game that you have the athleticism. We just don't have the experience. And Coach Stud does a great job of coaching them. I think we do have a good stable of backs that's going to pay off, as we head into these bigger games. And I think it takes a lot of pressure off of the quarterback.
Last question for you, Coach. Obviously watched the defense and how it was being challenged in the run game by a really good running back. I think one of the best running backs in the country. And we hope that Muhammad Ibrahim is okay, because that was outstanding to watch. What do you tell your defense? What did you see on film that they need to clean up ahead of Oregon?
I thought we played hard. I think that was it was a physical game. It's like having a physical game like that for your first game is a challenge. I mean, we went into the preseason knowing we had to get game ready to play that type of physical game, a conference game with a lot of young guys who hadn't done it. All the linebackers were brand new, a bunch of guys in the secondary, inexperienced. Everything that was going on in that defense was for the first time for a lot of those guys. And we always say, you can make up with effort for, maybe a little bit of a misalignment or things like that. So when you look at it, we did have a couple of missed tackles. And so we got to clean that stuff up. If we can, they did have the one explosive play. We did create some turnovers, almost had a third turnover that I thought would have been, really a game changer. We got called for kind of hands to the face on the quarterback. That was unfortunate, but, we did create some turnovers. We make them drive the entire field. If we can clean up some things in terms of detail, that could have been a different game. But going into this game, we have a new challenge, and, we got to come together, because one of the plans to win for us is to play great defense. And if we want to win big games and make a run at this thing, then we're going to have to do that. Right on.
Ohio State head coach Ryan Day, thank you so much, sir, for joining us here on the number one ranked show, and good luck against Oregon this Saturday.
Thanks, RJ.
Hey, kinfolk, I appreciate you for watching. Subscribe here and ring the bell so you don't miss the latest upload to the channel. Also, be sure to watch more videos here, like FS1 Studio shows and the best from Fox Sports and Fox Sports Digital.